Hello, I'm Robert, and you are welcome here in my busy little shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, the project's a little bit big to put on my workbench, but you'll get the idea here in just a moment. I've got a set of chairs that a local person asked me if I could see if I could come up with a solution to fix. So let me turn this around and let you see it. So here's the project. It's a set of 4 chairs that the owner really likes, and they left them outside in air and they got rained on, and the leather shrunk up. The leather was just glued along on the wood here, and this is one of the worst of the chairs. You can see the back here. It has shrunk probably an inch in length. On this side, it's all here. On this side, it's sitting crooked between the two sides. So my task is to try to find a solution to fix this. It's vegetable tan leather. We know that for a couple reasons. One is it's tooled, and you can't tool a chrome tan leather. And then I've not seen chrome tan leather that is as thick as this. This is probably around a 10-ounce leather. So the owner felt like this chair was pretty much a complete loss. The white on here, she had used a conditioner trying to soften the leather to try to get it back where it was. And I hate to say it, but I think the way to fix this, water damaged it. I think water can fix it. She knows that it may end up with some water marking as a result of that, but I think if I get it wet evenly throughout, then it won't do that. My biggest concern is that it may have this conditioner may have sealed the leather, which may make it to where the water doesn't want to absorb evenly. So I've got one of the 4 chairs here. I'm going to see if I can wet it down, see if I can re-stretch the leather and put it in place. So yep, I'm just going to take a hose to it and wet this leather down. So I'll bring you back once I've wet the leather and give it a chance to soften up some, to see if I can get stretch on it. And then I'm going to use upholstery nails to fasten this here to hold it so it doesn't want to pull off of it while it's drying and potentially shrinking back down. I hope you enjoy following along. Hope you're having a great day. All right, so to do this project, the owner had used a conditioner. I think I mentioned that earlier, a beeswax and some other items, conditioner, sealer on the leather, and it made it hard to get the water in it. So since it wasn't nailed on, I totally removed it. I rolled it in a wet towel and let it sit overnight. And it's still not as saturated as the seat cushion part of it was, but let's see what we can accomplish here. So here's the frame, and we're gonna lay it on here and see how much stretch I need to get. Don't want to install it upside down. That would be a bummer to have it all installed and have to take it back off. So it looks like it pretty much went back to its original size when it became totally saturated, which is good. That's going to make this a lot easier. So you can see here where I've got my bend over here on the wood and here, and it's on the seam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. And I think since the top is the most visible when the chair is set up, I'm going to start here and get this top part nailed on. get it centered here on this top rail. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll measure this. This is 15 1/4, so 8 1/8 to the center. And put a little mark here. And then I'm going to put a tack every inch. So I set my calipers to 1 inch, and we'll start here on the center one here. And I'm just going to march along here and put a mark every inch along the top. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to leave the sides last, so I don't end up like getting it stretched one way as opposed to the other and having an issue. If I center the top and the bottom on there, then that should help keep me from getting it, technical term, whopper jawed on the frame. Okay. And then I picked up these upholstery tacks, and I thought this color went really well with the chair. The hardest thing I've had is when you strike this, it wants to slip, so you end up bending quite a few of these, so you need to order extra. I'll start here in the center. Let's see, that first one it bent. There might be an easier way to do it, but that's been my experience with these in the past. I think I'm gonna try a little different approach. I'm gonna use this. It's maybe a little harder to get in on it, but since it's got a nylon face on it, maybe it won't slip to the side so much. And since it's tied in there, I'll use a pair of needle nose pliers to hold it. Okay. Looks like I'm pretty well centered. I'll march out here on each side. Make sure these holes are kind of in the same spot. Okay, that went simpler than I thought. I've got the top now. We're going to do the bottom next. Now, depending on what you think the strength of the wood is, you may want to support this in the middle. I'm going to see how much I have to pound on. I don't think it's as much as the other, as it would appear. Get a little bit of stretch here, I think. And then we'll center it up. When this dries, this leather is going to shrink like it did before, and it'll tighten up. It won't be tight as a drum because I can't get that much pull on it, but it'll be considerably tighter than it is right now when it's wet. So I think I need to lay out my marks, and then I'll struggle and get the leather in the right place. So. See if it's the same width. 15 here. So 7.5 is going to be the center. All right, so now I'm going to measure this to make sure we got the same width. We got 15 1/4 here, so 7 5/8. Reset my calipers to 1 inch. And put some marks across here. I'm gonna set this to 1/2 inch and check myself from the bottom. All right. Pull this, get this snug as I can get it here. I may have to spritz it. I can tell the leather's drying out a little bit as I work on it, and I'm fighting the leather wanting to shrink up some here. This white in here will come out. I'll take a little soft brush and work on that. That's the beeswax that was left behind when they were trying to condition it. All right, that's, I think, as good as I'm going to get it. And now, get a couple tacks in here to hold this. I need to shift just a hair. Unbend that one. Just pushing on it. A little struggle here. I'll keep it viewer friendly. Maybe. Not liking this. All right, hopefully it gets a little easier here. I think I want to go all the way out here. If I start this way, I'm liable to work out a way. So I'm going to get it as tight as I can out here and put one end out here at the very end. I'm probably blocking with my hat. Apologize if I am. Daggone it. Get in there. Okay, pretty tight considering the thickness of the leather and what I've got to work with here. We got that side and that. Oh, looks like we'll come out pretty good there. I'm gonna flip these over and put my layout marks in for the upholstery nails. 25 1/4. I'm gonna put them every inch apart. But I'm gonna start 1/4 inch in here from the end. Let me get a 1 inch set here. Now, I got another idea. Hang on. So some may ask, is this leatherwork or carpentry? And I guess the answer is yes. I measured 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to put a light crease along here so I don't have to double mark this. I don't think this crease will show afterwards. It's more of just a mark almost in the waxy surface. There's 3 more chairs to do, and if the owner likes the work, then I'll apply the same thing. This chair was in worse shape than the others, but I'm not sure it's going to be any quicker because I think I may have to totally remove the back of the chair so that I can get it evenly saturated with water. I guess just have to play it by ear. This is the only one I'm repairing right now. I need to order more of the furniture staples as it was, the upholstery nails. I had to drive into town an hour each way to get what they had, and this is all that they had of this style, and I didn't think the other style was as nice. Wouldn't want to mix them either in the set. So we'll be able to order these. And so I can get more of the same look and style. Okay. I turn around. Oh yeah, it's on that side. Hopefully you don't find this too boring. I thought it might be interesting to see how it looks and the process. New territory for me. I've not done anything quite like this. I did make a reading desk for a brother years ago, and I had a hinge with a leather cover, and this is the style of staple that I use to attach it. Yep, I think I got it held in place now. And come back and replace that one in a minute. Interesting process. Someone's probably saying you're doing it wrong. Maybe there's a better way of installing these. If there is, put it in comments. I've got 3 more chairs to do, so you'll be seeing this video before I do the other 3 chairs, since I've got to order in the upholstery nails. This leather here was an inch shorter than the frame needed yesterday before I wet it. And I'm still about 1/4 inch short on the length of it, so I was able to get 3/4 of an inch. But I made that up at the bottom because I think it's going to be less visible there than it would be at the top. And I could split the difference, but I figured if I do all 4 chairs starting at the top, that it will look more uniform. Same place. I wonder if there's a knot there. This will tighten up when it dries. This leather's going to want to shrink back where it was before I wet it. Uh-oh, got myself somewhere. Well, it's not a day in the shop unless I leave a little DNA somewhere. Now I want to say, I removed the leather from the wood frame for another reason. I was concerned about getting the joints too wet. I'm not sure what kind of glue they used, And I didn't find any mechanical fasteners such as nails or dowels. So I'm not sure how it's put together, and I didn't want to loosen the glue up. I guess in theory, the leather, when it shrinks, is going to strengthen all these connections. But that one's out of place. Must have bent some. Yep. There we go. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna get a light soft brush and clean this out. And then I'm gonna let that dry and we'll come back and see what it looks like. This is the bottom, and I'd already put some tacks in yesterday. I had a few to hold it in place. That one's not too bad. Okay, that's the seat. I don't know if you remember, but this is all curled up here. Didn't reach. So it goes something along like this. I'll have to get that squeezed on the outside there. I'll get a picture once I return this, that you'll be able to see here how it goes. This is a lot darker. This I left wet overnight. This I finished most of it yesterday. So I appreciate you following along. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also, hey, tell me how I should have done it differently. Have a great day.